All right. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry that I'm getting this video up just a little bit late today. But we are going to briefly touch on evictions and on the eviction appeal process. I understand that hard times happen. And coming out of the pandemic, there are plenty of individuals who are looking for new jobs and who are financially behind. And so eviction can be a very real concern to you and your family. So I'm going to share just some basic resources from the law library .traviscountytx.gov website. I will share this link as well in the description of this video. So feel free to go and look and check it out. Get a sense of what you've got going on so that you can go directly look at these. I just said look at these 3 times in a row. So you can go and have a look at these documents on your own without me very briefly going over them. Once again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice. If you find yourself in a situation of being potentially evicted and you would like to talk more about it, I would be happy to do that. I would be happy to share the resources I have. I would be happy to work through any process you might be going through with regards to evictions. But I do want to explicitly say that I'm not an attorney. None of this is legal advice. This is resources that I found online that I thought might be helpful for you guys, and I wanted to get them out to you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share. I'm just going to go share. I'm going to share the direct website. Man, I am all over the place today with my words. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so up here, this law library.traviscountytx.gov. That's the primary website. And I'll have to go back here in just a minute to get the other form that I wanted to show you. If you have received a notice for eviction, here are some of the things that you can do. These are the steps of an appeal. So number 1, select and fill out an appeal form. That is not this one, appeal bond. I believe that is this form. So I have a copy of it and I can make copies for you as needed if you're having trouble finding the actual website. So there's option 1, tenant's appeal bond. Once again, I'm not an attorney. I don't know what a lot of this stuff means. I wish I did. Cash deposit, statement of inability, and then you fill out the defendant tenant's answer and you make 2 copies of each form you filled out. Step 2, you turn all your forms in to the Justice of Peace. There's some additional information here regarding if you need to send your information to your landlord as well. And here are the deadlines in yellow. So this top one here, turn in your forms no later than 5 days after the Justice of the Peace sign the eviction order. So if you get an order to evict posted on your door, you need to move quickly. Okay, this is not something that you can just sit there for 3 weeks out of that month or whatever you have before you're being asked to vacate the property. You want to make sure that you're moving very quickly. And you want to make sure that you have everything in writing. I've said that time and time again in these videos, but if you've missed it, document. If you are requesting for information from the front office and you're not getting it verbally, you need to request it in writing. If you're requesting maintenance, you need to do it through the portal. You need to do it in writing. When you do it in writing, you prove that it's been set. Period. Right? Because here's the thing. I can say I said something, doesn't mean I said it. Maybe I said it in a way that didn't make sense. Maybe I said it in a way that you didn't understand. Maybe I never said it. Maybe I meant to say it and I just didn't. Right. So from a legal standpoint, make sure you have your stuff documented. And then number 3, if you filled out the tenant's appeal bond or a statement of inability, pay 1 month's rent to the Justice of the Peace. And that's pay the rent no later than 5 days after filing. This is the kind of thing that when I go back over to the other screen, hopefully we'll have some answers as to what exactly that means. But in the meantime, you can always contact the legal aid clinic, the law clinic out of Texas, Rio Grande, I believe, law clinic. And I can always help you guys get that information as well. The Austin Tenants Council would also be super helpful with getting that information. They can offer you legal advice as well. So if you get a notice to vacate, a notice that you're being evicted, you can always call them. and ask to speak to one of their attorneys. I believe the first consult is free of charge. Speaking to a housing counselor is free of charge. So please keep that in mind that you have options, okay? And if you file the statement of inability and you stay in the unit, pay each rent to the county court. And you're going to pay that rent within 5 days of the due date. Okay, so this is the basic flow chart and the steps of an appeal. Okay. And the reason I use that video or that graphic, that image, is because the rest of this website is very helpful, but it's also it's a lot. It's a lot of information. And it's a lot of information that is trying to simplify a very complex process. And you guys are not the experts in this. I'm not the expert in this because I'm not an attorney and I'm not a landlord. So this isn't the world that I live in primarily. So here are the basic laws under this Texas law of civil procedure. It will tell you what you can expect. Here, I do want to see, I want to look this up. This is the appeal bond, which is the thing that I read. And when I looked at this form to begin with, it made so much sense. And then I actually tried to like figure out what was what. It didn't make as much sense. Okay, so that's not actually helpful, which is a bummer. Okay, so this Texas Grande legal aid, appealing an eviction. So this is also the website, or this is also the entity that I was telling you could always reach out to. A lot of times they do have a backlog, a wait list, so keep that in mind. All right, so first, the landlord will send you a written notice to vacate. They're going to ask you to move out by a specific date. If you don't, then they have to file an eviction case, okay? And then the constable will serve you with a lawsuit and it'll tell you when your trial date is. If you do not go to the trial, the landlord automatically wins. Okay. And then they can ask the court to, I guess, just get you out, to remove you, to physically come in and go, hey, you have to go. And I guess you'll have 24 hours to get out, to move. Okay. If that happens, you can appeal if you have a good reason. And this is the document that you file: motion to set aside default judgment. Note the filing for new does not give you extra time to appeal to the county court. All right, so if you lose the hearing, you can appeal within 5 days. It looks like 5 days is your magic number here. So if you're involved in the eviction process at all, it sounds like you have about 5 days from the date that they've asked you to vacate. You have 5 days from the date they've like told you have to be gone. And you have 5 days after if you miss your initial hearing, right? Let's say you were in the hospital. Let's say you were in a really bad car accident. You know, there are plenty of reasons. There are plenty of good reasons to miss court dates. But it can't be, I overslept. That makes sense. It can't be, I couldn't get a ride, because you've had a month. You've had a month to come up with how you're getting there. And if you don't know how you're getting there, you can always contact me and I can see what I can do to help. Okay. And then this paragraph here just talks about how you pay your rent while going through the eviction process. Please keep in mind that in the state of Texas, paying your rent is considered like the most important thing as a renter. If you're not paying your rent and something breaks in your apartment and the landlord takes a really long time to fix it, right? Like they are under less pressure to get that fixed than if you're on time, if you're paying your rent on time. Okay. So if you have paid late and they have told you that is fine, or, you know, there are a variety of reasons why these things happen, make sure you're getting it in writing just to protect yourself. It protects you and it protects them, right? Everybody knows what the expectations are. Okay. Basics of appealing an eviction from the justice court. Okay. So an appeal bond or a cash deposit that was on that initial form. The promise to pay the judgment if you lose the appeal. Okay. Judge usually sets the amount at 1 month's rent, but it can vary. Can also be 2 or 3 times your monthly rent. Ew, that's a lot. Okay. And then statement of inability to pay court costs. You can request a fee waiver. And that information is right here as well. And then here's the basic information on paying rent into the quit registry. If you're being evicted because of your rent. And then some just other basic information. Here are the forms down here, the appeal bond. That's the form I was holding up. Appeal by cash deposit. And once again, 100%, if you find yourself in this situation, of potentially being evicted, and this video is a little bit all over the place, mostly because I just want to expose you guys to some of the terms and some of the forms and some of the places online where you can get more information, okay? But at the bottom of this texaslawhelp.org website is the Texas Tenant Advisor, okay? Then you can always go here and check it out. How to select an attorney, eviction. And this way you can start getting a sense of what's happening, right? So even if you're not the one filing this stuff, right, you decide you want to request an attorney, you've contacted the Austin Tenants Council, or you've contacted, the Texas Grande Legal Aid organization, and you've gone through there, you've had the conversation with them, you know that you need an attorney. It is helpful for you to know what the process is. It is helpful for you to know what some of these things are, and it's helpful for you to know how to find the information out so that you have an idea of what's happening, right? It is not happening to you, right? You are part of this process, okay? This is going to be a very, very short video today because, like I said, I wish I had the ability to give you guys all legal advice and we could all, go and kind of make things better. That would be amazing. Unfortunately, in this particular area, when it comes to the law, I'm not an expert. And I don't claim to be an expert, and I don't ever want you guys to feel like I've said you should do something and you feel uncomfortable, or you're like, that doesn't sound right. That might potentially get you into trouble or into a worse position than you're already in. So if you are in this process, please feel free to reach out and have a conversation with me. Always happy to talk to you guys at anything. Just schedule a time and we'll make it happen. And if you find yourself in this situation and you're just overwhelmed and a little bit scared, right? Like, this is also, we could go through this together and we could try to figure it out, right? We could try to go, okay, like, what are the words that they're using, right? Is this the notice to vacate, or is this the actual eviction order? So have that in mind. Please know you have resources here. There are resources where you can do it yourself, and there are resources where you can get assistance. All right. All right. I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you.